Hey, what's going on everyone? You're climbing into another TriState Aviation video. Welcome back to the channel, and for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. If you've been following along with my travels for a little while, you may know that I visited Aruba a few trips back and I really loved it there. The ABC Islands are beautiful and I was eager to return. Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. This time, we're headed to the Sea Island, which is the island of Curaçao. We'll be flying on JetBlue's non-stop service between New York's John F. Kennedy Airport and Curaçao on the Airbus A320. In case you're not familiar with the ABC Islands, they are a group of islands located just off the coast of Venezuela, and they are all overseas territories of the Netherlands. On the left is Aruba, the smallest of the three islands. This is the island we previously visited. Aruba is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the Caribbean, especially for Americans and Canadians. Part of the reason why people favor Aruba is because, unlike the majority of the Caribbean, the ABC Islands are actually very dry. I am not a meteorologist by any stretch, so I have no idea why it is dry there, but if anyone has any information on that, please let me know in the comments. In the middle is Curaçao, which is where we're going today. The majority of Curaçao's tourists are actually from the Netherlands. They still get a decent amount of American tourists, but nowhere near to the extent of Aruba. Finally, on the right is Bonaire, the least popular of the ABC Islands. Bonaire is well known for its scuba diving, hence its nickname Diver's Paradise, and the only reason one would visit Bonaire would be to scuba dive. Anyway, back to the trip report. JetBlue operates out of Terminal 5 at JFK. Hawaiian and Aer Lingus also operate out of this terminal due to their partnerships with JetBlue.
Enter to your right, maximum 2 persons at a time. Keep walking, restart, keep walking.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you always get to the airport early. Something must have been going on. Maybe it was a problem with their system or a shortage of staff, because I've never seen Terminal 5 that mobbed before. I took this flight on a Monday, and JFK is never that crowded on a Monday. I've even flown in and out of JFK on weekends during high season, and it's never that crazy. Our flight departs from Gate 2 today, which is right at the end of Terminal 5. November 706 Juliet Bravo will be taking us down to Curaçao today. The aircraft was built and delivered to JetBlue in 2008 and has flown with them ever since. According to my boarding pass, we'll be flying to CuraAHhurricanesymbolao today.
JetBlue is paging Saga 7, store on
Morning flight 1111 to Curaçao. We welcome customers in groups A and B are welcome aboard.
I'm doing very well. Enjoy your flight. You're welcome.
Unfortunately, today's aircraft hadn't been retrofitted with the new cabin by the time I took this flight. I'll talk more about that later. Here's my view from seat 16F.
Most heavy limit are designated exit rows. If you are seated there, you may be called upon to open the exit.
Every seat on JetBlue has a personal TV. Legroom is extremely generous, much better than any other US carrier. In the seat back pocket, we have a Wi-Fi and TV guide, a safety card, and an in-flight menu.
If you cannot or do not perform these functions, please let one of us know. We'll be more than happy to receive you. Once again, welcome aboard.
The TV can be controlled by a little remote built into the armrest. The headrests on the non-retrofitted A320s are not adjustable. This A320 features the newer overhead panels. As we get on our way here, let's quickly talk about JetBlue's A320 refurbishment project. Now, I'm sure many of you know about this already, but some of you may not, so I'll explain what's going on. JetBlue is in the process of refurbishing their entire A320 fleet. The first 20 A320s to be refurbished were fitted with the Phase 1 cabin, which is the same cabin you'll find on the A321 with the touchscreen TVs. The Phase 1 cabin on the A320 has the same configuration as the old A320s with 7 rows of even more space and 18 rows of economy, or as JetBlue calls it, CUR. Once those 20 aircraft were refurbished, JetBlue ended the Phase 1 upgrades and started with the Phase 2 upgrades. The Phase 2 cabin is the one that you'll find on their A321neo with even newer seats and even nicer TVs. However, I've heard that the TVs on the Phase 2 break often, which is unfortunate. The biggest difference between the Phase 1 and Phase 2 A320s is the seat count. The Phase 2 A320s actually have 2 extra rows of seats, so instead of 18 rows of economy, there's 20. While this does slightly reduce legroom, there is still more legroom on the Phase 2 than every other US carrier. You can find a list of which A320s have been retrofitted on the site linked in the description. JetBlue also provides a list on their own website, but I don't think it's been updated in quite a while. I mean, their site still says that they only have one A321neo, and at the time that I'm posting this, they already have over 10, so that should say something. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about the project, be sure to leave them down below. JetBlue offers fast and free Wi-Fi on every aircraft in their fleet. However, the Wi-Fi coverage zone varies from aircraft to aircraft. The non-retrofitted A320s, like the one we're on today, as well as the A321s, the E190s, and the Phase 1 A320s only have Wi-Fi coverage within the US and Canada. The Phase 2 A320s and A321neos have expanded coverage that includes Central America, as well as parts of the Caribbean and South America. Because we'll be leaving US airspace relatively quickly on this flight, the Wi-Fi won't be usable for very long. JetBlue offers a variety of free ebooks, shows, and movies to keep yourself occupied during the flight. They also offer live TV and Sirius XM radio on the TV monitors. However, like the Wi-Fi, these options are only available within their coverage zone. Quite a bumpy ride down to Curaçao this morning.
Service until it's safe for us to be up and down the cabin. At this time, I'm going to ask all customers please remain in their seats with your seatbelt securely fastened. If you're traveling with children, please double check the security of their seatbelt as well. Thank you. In-flight crew members, take your jump seats.
The tray table is decently sized and can be adjusted. JetBlue handles snack and beverage service a bit differently from other US carriers. On JetBlue, the flight attendants come around to take drink orders in advance, and then your beverage is delivered to your seat a couple minutes later. Once everyone has received their beverage, the snacks are served. As you can see, we've already left the coverage zone. I chose the chocolate chip cookies for my snack, my usual go-to on JetBlue. Here's a quick tour of the lavatory. The headphone jack for the TV is under the armrest. Within no time, we started our descent into the Curaçao International Airport. Immigration cards were handed out shortly before arrival. However, we filled out our forms online, so we didn't need a physical card. Effective October 1st, 2019, all passengers arriving into Curaçao are required to fill out their immigration forms online before leaving for Curaçao. The airlines will no longer provide physical cards on board.
ride. For your safety, please keep your seatbelts fastened and carry it out and put away until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Be careful when opening up overhead bins, as articles do have a tendency to move during flight. If you have a receipt that says
Wax that for him.
Thanks. It feels like the walking never ends.
It's like they just modernized the airport.
I've got to say, despite the long walk, this airport seems really nice. Curaçao Airport had just undergone a major renovation, and they did some really good work here. Luckily, we came after they finished the construction, unlike last year when we visited Aruba right in the middle of their airport renovation, which caused nothing but chaos. And just like that, we've made it to Curaçao, or as JetBlue calls it, CuraAHhurricanesymbolao. As always, it was a great trip with JetBlue. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more content like this. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below, and I'll do my best to reply as quickly as possible. See you guys next time.
Train, please hold on. This train is departing. The next stop is for Seagates. C as in Charlie.